Hi, this is Roni, and welcome to my channel, and welcome to Mixed Media Frenzy. We are going to be using that sketch that you just now saw, and you will see most of the time. It will be laying in the upper left-hand corner while I'm busy working because I'm trying to look at it. There is a lot of triangles in this sketch, and for them to fit together, nestle, the way that they have them. Yeah, I did try to stick to the sketch on the triangles. I had to make sure the angles were the same. So it will take me a few minutes to do some of those, but I did cut most of that out. I decided to use this darkest piece down in the bottom to kind of give the base part, make it a little heavier, and then it get lighter as it goes to the top. Some of those papers are a little bit too light to go on that light paper I have. It's a grid paper in case it looks kind of solid to you. So I am going to take my smash pen and I'm going to outline them, and I'm going to do a double outline because the very first one I laid down there, I thought it needed something, and that's what it got. And big mistake here, I use repositional adhesive. Yeah, when I go to put the embossing powder on, you will see why it is a big mistake. And the thing is, a couple of them I barely touched the pieces, the triangles, and they would move. So I should have realized that I needed to do something else to it before I put the embossing powder on. My intentions were to use the repositionable, and then if I had to move a triangle, it would be a lot easier. And then to take and put wet glue on it at the end after the video, just around the edges, anything was sticking up. I couldn't wait that long. I had to do it before then, and you will see why soon. Pulled 3 different pattern papers to use for my triangles, but I barely got started and decided I needed a 4th. So the polka dot one there was my 4th one that I chose, and you see it's getting an outline also because the white on the white just didn't seem to get it with me. And I think the only one that I don't do it to is the arrow one. Yeah, looking at the layout, it is the only one. And see that green pattern paper? I cut 2 triangles out. Somehow one of them did not make it to the layout. It must have got covered up somehow and didn't make it. But I will use the yellow that's in that triangle 3 times on the layout just so that I can repeat it. And you would not believe all the fussing that I do with these triangles, trying to get them the way I want and to nestle them up against each other and make sure that they all have the same angle going on when I do it. Yeah, I move stuff around quite a bit. So it is, maybe that's why it didn't stick any better than it did. I was busy moving it around. Here I'm going to cut this again, I guess. I do not see where it's on my layout. Maybe. Oh, I know why I don't see it. It's not the same color. It is the same piece of paper, but it's kind of like a ombre look almost. It goes from lighter to darker, and I do use the darker one on the layout. I'm holding it against that triangle there because my intentions are to layer those 2, because if you look over there in the sketch, there is a couple that is layered, and I decided I might as well try that and repeat that. And so that's what I'm going to do. But I am going to end up cutting it down a little bit. That top part, I mean, I had it cut, but once I added the smaller piece of triangle, I knew I'd be cutting the top part off. And then I decided maybe I ought to go ahead and map my photo so I'll know how much room it's taking up. And although I trimmed this down a little to start with, looking at the layout and looking at the photo that's on the sketch, they always have the smallest photos on those sketches. I decided mine was way too big, so I was going to have to cut it down. And in the sketch, everything that's layered with the photo has the corners rounded. And I figure it's because of all the triangles and the sharp corners that they wanted a little bit of difference by having rounded corners. So I pulled out my corner chomper and I did round the corners on it. In the background, well, not exactly the background, after they put some triangles down, they went ahead and stamped on the background and the triangles. And of course, it's one of those background stamps that I don't have any of. And I am going to use some individual stamps instead. And here I decided I needed, since I put the light on there, that I needed some dark. So I pulled out the one that looks kind of reminds me of blueprints, but they're in blue, a dark blue and silver. Now, when I say reminds me of blueprints, it reminds me of vintage blueprints where they're dark blue. It's like a copy paper. It's been so long since I've seen it, I can't really remember. I know that they could take and write on it with the blue, and it would be like kind of silver. Evidently, that's where they got the idea. Shamel got the idea for this. Oh, and this is a Christmas present. I forgot to mention that. Yeah, I got some field trip for Christmas. I got some more scrappy goodness too. I did go ahead and outline this, and see me, I almost put it the wrong way. I needed it to go down instead of up. And so yeah, it's going to go down. And like I said, it's going to be a mistake in a minute, because that repositional adhesive is definitely going to be a mess soon. Looking at my layout now, it looks like I'm going to put this triangle on there and maybe one more, and then I will probably be doing the stamping after that. And it's a little one. Oh, of course I have to outline this one, and I will outline the other little one that I put on there. I'm looking to see what, oh, I am going to punch out a couple of, I'm going to use, it's a photo corner punch, but I'm going to use it as arrows. I've had it it's one of the first things I ever got scrapbooking, and I have used it much more for arrows and chevrons than I ever have for photo corners. But it comes in handy. And I like the looks of it, and it's about the right size. Oh, I have, let's see, I'm trying to figure out. Oh, I will put those down, I think, before. Yeah, there's the other little one that I'm going to put on there. And then I don't think I put the chevron arrow things back on until after I get the stamping done. No, I don't. I remember I put them on last. So now it should be time for stamping. Oh no, here I am outlining again. And it could have probably done without, since it was on the blue paper. But no, I had to make it match everything else that's on the page. And see that one? That should have told me something right there. You seen where it moved, where I barely touched it and it moved? Yeah. You will see some stuff move in a minute. These are the stamps I'm going to use. They are Stampin' Up, and I think it's called Simple Shapes or something like that. And I'm going to use those 2 outline circles instead of using the solid ones. And I'm going to do the large one first. And of course, I can't see them because even though I have lots of light right here, I've seen probably 2 out of all the ones that I ended up stamping. And because I was kind of squishing my stamp into the embossing ink, I think it's called, I wanted to do it on the paper too, but I had to stop myself. Oh, here it comes. The disaster. Yeah. Oh no. Up it goes. And you're going to see one little triangle fall down first. And behind all these triangles is embossing powder. And see that big one on top, and it has that other one on top of it? Yeah, down they go. Yeah. I will cut out all my work having to pull them up and clean the embossing powder off, which I do not get all of it, and take a brush and clean around those circles so I can go ahead and emboss them down. And I did use wet glue. They're staying this time. I did not use my embossing buddy because my thought in my head was that there would be some extra like in the center of the circles, and there is. So I like that. I think it looks pretty good. It's not solid like the solid stamps would do, but it does have a little bit of color in the middle of the circles. And now I'm putting the small ones on randomly, and of course I can't see them, so I'll have to go back with embossing powder, I think one extra time or two, and watch it. This time it's going to do much better. Stuff is not going to be falling off. And I went ahead and used my brush and went around the places that needed it, because although I wanted it inside the circle, I didn't really want it on the outside. And see that one there, on the right hand side, I did catch my brush on that, so I took my embossing pen and filled in the circle there so that I could go ahead and put some embossing powder on it, and it'd go ahead and be a solid circle. It may not be perfect, but it does connect. And if you look, the left side kind of sort of has more, and then it goes behind the triangles and has less on the right hand side. And the original, if you can see it up there, it has this background stamp on the left, and then it shows on the right also. The reason I decided to use the circles for my stamping is because the triangles and the points on the triangles and the shapes of the triangles, I wanted something that was a little bit different. I did put some magic mesh down on the right of the picture, and when I put the liquid glue behind it, I made sure the side where the magic mesh was had a little bit more than the other side, so that it could help hold the magic mesh down. It does have repositionable adhesive behind it, but I've had it a lot of years, and I don't know how well it's actually going to stick without some help. Those Mr. Huey's that I used, one is called Sunshine, although it's not very sunny anymore. I've had it a long time, and I think it's gotten darker. And then the other one is called Letter Jacket, and it's a red, so I didn't put very much of it on there. I tucked one of these chevron arrow-looking things behind the magic mesh, and then the other one is to the side of it. And my title's going to be Cool Kid, and I'm going to use it off that sheet right there. And I'm not putting it there. I'm going to move it over a little bit, because I thought, well, on the sketch it shows it just going straight across the bottom, and so I was going to put Cool Kid straight across the bottom, but then I thought, well, I can nestle the cool in with the K maybe, and yeah, I was able to do that. So of course I like that better. I am just picking out the orange ones off this sheet, the little orange circles, and I'm going to scatter them through there. They both, the circles that I stamped and these, remind me of planets and moons, although that wasn't my intention. That's what it reminded me of once I started putting them down. So then I thought, I could throw a few stars too, so I added a few stars. There is plenty on that sheet, and then there's another sheet behind it. These are the puffy stickers, and see that one I'm putting on there now? I'm going to change it out, and the reason is I remember that I fussy cut a whole bunch on a sheet, and it's yellow, and there's yellow up in that green triangle on the left, and then the Cool Kid has yellow, so I decided I wanted to add some yellow in another place, so that I'd have it in 3 places, and it'd be in the shape of a triangle. Thereabouts. Yeah, like I don't have enough triangles on here. But yeah, look at this. I didn't fussy cut everything out. I almost got done, but there's a few things that still needs cut out. And that little robot is just so cute, but I don't end up using it. I started to glue it down and everything, and then I thought, I'm not sure about that. And I will end up pulling something else out. I think it's something yellow. I don't remember. Let me look. Yeah, it's yellow, and it says Explore. I had to do just a little extra fussy cutting there. I fussy cut in the living room, and the lighting's not near as good in there. You can see a lot more under these lights. And I'm just kind of going through there and trying to decide what to use. And I thought, well, I already have yellow in this corner, just add a little bit more. And I like the shape of it. And that Cool Kid did not stick very well, so I thought I might as well get it glued down where it was going to stay. And I'm sure you've all had them before. They don't stick very well. Thickers never stick very well. Well, the foam ones do, but that's about it. And oh, I put this book here and it says Cosmic, I believe. Let me look. Yeah, nope, it says Cosmos. And it has a, oh, what do you call it, telescope on the front of it. And I'm going to end up changing the position of it. I decided I didn't like it at that angle, so I will move it and have it at another angle. And what am I doing? Oh, that's the camera. I'm putting it there. I thought, this is so cute. They took a picture of him, and he's in his underwear. I put a heart on there, and I'm gonna leave it. I want to tell him, you can remove it if you want. But, yeah, I put a heart right there so that the whole world won't see him in his underwear. And let's see. Oh, and he don't care if his picture's on the internet or not. I told him I record all my videos lately, and he's fine with that. Oh, I fussy cut one of the set of arrows out, and since I was already doing the yellow, I wanted a little green with it. I fussy cut that one out, and like I said, I moved the book. And see that last sticker I put on there? That's a ray gun. Yeah, I thought it has to have a ray gun. Yeah, I seen it laying over there with that stack of stuff I fussy cut, and I thought, it's got to have that. What little boy wouldn't love a ray gun? But these are my close-ups, and it was a fun, though challenging layout because getting the triangles on there. I won't be doing a triangle one soon, believe me. It took me a while. I thought it'd be a quick layout, but no, the triangles did take me a while just because I was fussy about the angles of them. Yeah, but yeah, check everybody else's videos out because they do something awesome every week. And although we are all using the same sketch, our layouts are not alike. It is amazing that they're not alike. But yeah, their links will be below so that you can check them out. And thank you all so very much for watching. If you leave a comment below, I'll get back with you. If you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I'd love to have you subscribe. And we are going to have a drawing soon. Thanks for watching. Have a happy, scrappy week. Bye.